back to your students. I am a student of you now. You have a list of essential films that is rolling on internet for more than a decade. A list of films that you recommend to your students, and there is a bunch of classical films. That is correct in my opinion. You are the primary. You have to start to teaching classic ways of filming, but your work is known exactly by the innovation, and you're not a classical filmmaker, or even not a classical person, not even a classical citizen, not even a classical political citizen, not even a classical artist in all way. How you are stylized. Your films is known, and your life is known by how you can put in style in things. So you teach classical films for your students, but how can you teach style?
First, I'll answer the first part of your question. The list of essential films, I don't get that out anymore. Usually, in the past, the first day of school, I would hand out this list, and I would read the names and have the students raise their hand if they've seen these films. And what was alarming to me, that most of the films they had not seen were films that were made before they were born, which I couldn't understand. I'm like, there was great movies made before you were born. Shit didn't just start on your birthday. As I told you in the car earlier, is that I'm gonna revise. I looked at it the other day, and I would, if I ever do another list, there will be some changes. But earlier you were talking about what you were giving examples of what type of filmmaker you think I am. And one thing, no disrespect, but one thing I try to avoid is putting labels on people. Like one word describes the total essence of who you are. And I mean, it's just hard to use one word. So I don't put a label on myself like I'm a provocateur, I'm a stylist, whatever it is. You know, I think I'm not only me, but I think my films are more complex than just to have one word attached to it.
Perfect, but I'm saying about, for instance, all your opening credits and all your ending credits, and you are the only filmmaker in the world that do that. All of them are different. You tend to show them in the other way that nobody put them before. Every time. You can wait. I always wait for your ending credits because I know that the art we will be continuing to be developing the creative mind of Spike Lee will be laboring even in the opening credits.
I know when people come to my films, I use the opening credits as like a teaser of what the rest of the film's gonna be. I mean, they're there in the theater, they're captive. So for me, it's not just like a build thing because we have to show who's in the movie. I want to get the audience as they sit down in this dark theater and let them start get the vibe, the vibrations. Not tell the whole thing, but give a hint of what they're about to see.
And we ever see a joint, not a film, because every author, filmmaker, American filmmaker, signed that movies as a print mark. Steven Spielberg signed their films as Steven Spielberg's film, a Steven Spielberg film. Martin Scorsese signs their films as a Martin Scorsese's picture. And Spike Lee is the only filmmaker, again, in the world to sign that pictures as a Spike Lee joint. And now, I think that anywhere our translation is having a huge difficulty to translate joint for Portuguese. So what?
In Portuguese, tell them what a joint means.
Em português, tem muitos significados joint, mas principalmente é um significado geográfico. Joint é um lugar muito legal para se estar. É um lugar físico que acaba se tornando um lugar espiritual também para se estar. Por exemplo, aqui neste lugar agora é uma joint. Here is a joint. In that moment, this moment.
It's the joint.
This is the joint.
It's the joint right here. Give yourself a round of applause. You're in the joint, and you gotta see other people outside in the hot sun.
It's our joint. It's our joint. So it has that collective sense of meaning in that word. Is that the collective meaning that it's not my movie, it's not my picture, it's my joint when me and my fellow friends, and you are famous to put in marketplace genius as costume designer named Ruth Carter, director of photography, cinematographic, Ernest Dickinson, producing designer Monty Ross, all genius in the marketplace. And today we have another marketplace before Spike Lee in United States. And because of that, we have another marketplace in the world because of Spike Lee. So I have to say, my friend, that we have another cinema scene in the market. If you don't want to that I say about the quality of your work, I won't do that. But you can deny people can deny that there is a story of movie before and after Spike Lee. Please let's do some.
Thank you for that very kind statement, but shit didn't start with Spike Lee. They were black filmmakers, Oscar Micheaux, Gordon Parks, Melvin Van Peebles, Sidney Poitier. They were people who paved the way for me to do what I love. And I like this is a very important, this is the most important thing I'm going to say today as we gather here. Can I stand up for this? I'm going to stand up. I give, just me stand up. I say my prayers every day because I'm doing what I love, and that is make cinema. I'm a storyteller, whether it be the Michael Jackson clip, a movie, the commercial I did with Michael Jordan, documentaries. I'm doing what I love, and I do not take that for granted. The truth is, the majority of the people on this God's earth go to their grave having worked at a job they hated. If you are one of the blessed and you are making a living doing what you love, you've won. Dodo, my brother, I'm going to speak to your students and to the other young artists in the joint today. Listen to me very closely. Parents kill more dreams than anybody. Why are you applauding? I'm going to repeat it. I'm going to walk over here on this side. Over here. Sit down, sit down. Parents kill more dreams than anybody. Over here for this side. How you doing? Parents kill more than dreams. Oops. Parents kill more dreams than anybody. Now, reason why here's, I've said that 3 times, maybe 4. But here's the reason. It's not because parents don't love their children and want the best for them. But here's the tricky part. Art. Parents know the job their children can get if they, I want my son to go to be a lawyer. They go to college, they go to law school. I want my son to be a business person, or daughter. They're going to go to school, they go to a business school. Or teach. Those are, there's a path. If you want to be a doctor, lawyer, business person, you know what the path is. But when it comes to the arts, a lot of parents don't understand the arts. They don't children can make money. The day that our young artists get up the courage to tell their parents that they want to be a poet, an artist, a dancer, a filmmaker, a writer, a journalist, they're like, oh, me and your mother. You're not put a second mortgage on the house. We did not work our fingers to the bone so you can be a broke-ass artist. And a lot of times, these young artists, knowing the sacrifices that parents made already, succumb to parental pressure and unfortunately choose a path in life that brings no joy in their heart. They did not listen to their heart, and because of parental pressure, they decide to do what their parents tell them they should be doing to be productive. And many years later, these young artists have grown old and end up hating their parents because they are stuck. So, if I just happen to be speaking to a parent that is in this situation,